Hello YouTubers, Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flesh Man, here today with another video. It's been a while since I've done a video here. This one is going to go on Europaths.com YouTube channel, as well as Monoatoms.com, and Monoatoms has to do with monoatomic elements, which are elements that were not taught in the in sciences, physics, chemistry, biology. These monoatomic elements have unique characteristics unlike any of the periodic elements of the periodic table. Alright, I'll give you a couple ideas of the difference between a monoatomic element and a normal element on the periodic table. Alright, so monoatomic elements, they have a 2-to-1 height-width ratio. All periodic elements of the periodic table have a 1-to-1 height-width ratio. Alright. The monoatomic elements also, they have unique characteristics, such as that if you heat them up above a certain temperature, which is quite extremely high, if you heat them up to that temperature, they will disappear from time and space completely. Mass, volume, everything, physically, they will disappear, and they will reappear once heated above or below that specific temperature. Now, these monatomic elements also are mono, so they are singular, they are non-dual. They resonate in existence in a dimension and frequency beyond duality and polarity consciousness, which is the state of consciousness of the planet here on Earth, which is the frequency of 3, the third dimension. That is an inharmonic frequency of 3. It's not an even number. So this monoatomic elements produced by aged urine, and I'll tell you how to do it. And check out, if you don't know, just subscribe to my channel, monoatoms.com. And this is the most optimal, amazing way to produce these monoatomic elements from your own body, as well as being able to produce the M-state mushroom, the monoatomic mushroom, also called the human biotic mushroom, which I am the discoverer of this mushroom. I am the one who created this, and I'm teaching how to do it. I've created 2 of them now, and I don't believe just anybody can create these mushrooms. You have to have done some kind of health and healing stuff in your life, and either drinking urine or lots of kombucha. But in any case, I'm going to teach you how to make these monatomic elements. These monatomic elements, because they exist beyond the duality state, is that when you consume monatomic powder, there's monatomic gold, monatomic iridium, monatomic rhodium. There are about a dozen kinds of monatomic elements. Now, these monatomic elements also, what they do is, they're the only elements beyond all the periodic table elements that have bonding pairs of electrons. Not one element in the periodic table has any bonding pair, any bonding electrons, not even pairs of electrons. So all monatomic elements have 2 pairs of bonding electrons. So that means there's 2 bonding electrons here and 2 bonding electrons here, which bond together, and these spin simultaneously in opposite directions, opposing directions, at high frequencies and speeds. And this creates the living Merkaba field, which is basically like a UFO. It goes beyond this dimension, and it exists in higher dimensions. All right. So when these 2 bonding pairs of electrons spin, it forms a star tetrahedron, which goes out like a UFO, and these feed our bodies with the language of light and sacred geometry, which is going to bring our bodies and our cells and all within our bodies is going to resonate us with these other dimensions, if you choose to. And if not, you won't experience these dimensions, and that's fine. You're not required to. It's up to you. It's a personal choice whether you want to experience that world and dimensions or not. Totally up to you. It's not good or bad. It just is. Okay. And this monoatomic state, this monoatom state, it's singular, so that's the thing, it's the non-dual. So when you consume monatomic elements, you become a light being, and you clear out your sankharas and energy fields in your body and the chakras, in the nadi channels. And this stuff is very, very powerful, and it'll change your consciousness of your mind and the way you relate to your body, with the foods you eat, the thoughts you have, emotions, all this stuff is going to be affected by this, okay? So, how do you create the monoatomic elements? Well, first of all, alright, monoatomic elements, they have been around and known about for a long time, hundreds, thousands, who knows how long, but a long, long time, alright? Now, traditionally they were not made from aged urine as far as I know. I mean, they may have been done too, but what people have been doing over the last 100 years or so is they have been using Drano, alright, to make monoatomic elements, which is not something I promote or suggest anybody that wants to make monoatomic elements to use Drano, to get the lye out of Drano, as well as the impurities of other crap that's in there. So, you know, if you really want to do it without the fermented urine, then you have to make pure sodium hydroxide, which is basically is just lye. It's lye, L-Y-E, and you can buy lye online, or you can make your own with regular refined table salt, and you can extract out the sodium hydroxide from it and produce your own lye. Now, lye has a pH of around 13 or 14 or more. It's around the high pH. Now, these monoatomic elements form at the pH of 7.5 to 7. Let me start over. The monoatomic elements form at the pH of 10.5 to 10.75. Now, that's also where this monoatomic mushroom forms, and I'll show you the mushroom. I have it there in another video here. It's the second one, and I'm going to eat that one. So if you want to see that video, I've ate the first one I created, and I had the best experience of my life for 3 days. I experienced what is called the M-state consciousness, where you do exist outside of duality. Now, if you have an unclear body and you're eating McDonald's and you're eating fast foods and you are not cleansing and stuff, you are not going to experience the M state. Your body's going to be so plugged up and stuff that you aren't going to hardly experience anything. All right. So, how do you make this here with the fermented urine, the aged urine? Is this urine has been aging for at least 3 months, probably 4 months now. And what I found through the urine therapy has been around for thousands of years as well. It's a natural cancer treatment, as well as just healthy living lifestyle. All right, just healthy thought. Now, you may not want to drink urine or do urine enemas, because that comes to do with your consciousness of your body, and that you're not clean enough to be able to consume this stuff. If you're not eating a raw food diet and you're eating all that fast food stuff, well, this is going to seem disgusting to you, and you're going to puke, right? And you're not going to do well off this stuff. Like the old saying, one man poison is another one's, a good food or whatever. Same thing. Maybe some of these people eating McDonald's all the time, they do great, and that's fine. I don't care what other people do, right? And what you choose to do and what you choose to eat. I do know this much, that the statistics in this world is 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people have cancer, to the point that their life expectancy is less than 5 years. So you do the math with that, and you're going to think, okay, well, who cares? You live a short life anyways. This mentality of, non-longevity consciousness, you don't really give a shit. You're going to die anyways. You didn't eat healthy most of your life. You don't give 2 shits. You're not going to do any of this stuff, because you're going to die anyways, and you don't care. So, that's one way to look at it. Another way is to look at it, this is so powerful in medicine. You do this a couple times a year, and, you're going to start thinking twice about eating at McDonald's once a week, because you're going to have consciousness. You're going to have body awareness, liver consciousness, the intestinal tract consciousness. You're going to open up your heart more to receive the love of the living and the light out there, not the death and the decaying. All right, the cells of the body that are just filled with toxins and garbage, and you're living your life. And so I'm not here to preach or tell you what to do, what's right, what's wrong. All I'm telling you, the statistics is that you're going to get cancer basically if you don't do this stuff and you don't live a healthy life. And let's face it, that's the facts, man. 1 in 3, 1 in 4 people have cancer. That's more than half the people out there. All right, so Another statistic is the 8th leading cause of death in the U.S. is cirrhosis of the liver. And the cirrhosis of the liver is the main detoxifier of the body for toxins and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, the fact is this, this cirrhosis of the liver is connected to unhealthy body and, you know, unhealthy mind and unhealthy lifestyle. All right. And for me personally, you know, since I was a young boy, I really, you know, I seen the state of the world, and it just made me sick inside to think that, you know, that the world is like this, and, you know, and these people, most of them don't have a chance, right? And so, anyways, I'm here to tell you, you know, what you can do to help clean up your body and stuff, and, you know, so what I've done here is, you know, I eat the most excellent raw food diet. Alright, organic is best if you can afford it, or if you can get it, or whatever. I mean, if you eat organic, from my experience, you can eat a lot less. You just eat less, and you have higher quality, plus you use it all. You use the skin, too, because there's no toxins, so you use the skin that's got the most nutrients in it. So, so with this urine here, you can see how it gets a bit dark on top here like this, and then the cream down here. I had one guy comment, don't say cream, man. Cream, 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 man. Cream, alright? I don't care what you think. Whether I can say cream if I want. It's cream, buddy. Alright, so there it is. Cream right down there. That's the monoatomic cream that's created. And you can put that on your face and on your skin. And you can put it under your tongue. You can eat it. It definitely doesn't necessarily taste good, alright? Maybe an acquired taste. I don't know, just like Brussels sprouts. Here's my little heart thing. I just put a little bit of urine in there once in a while. It's a little glass, and then I just put it on my face before I go to bed or whatever. You know, I've been lazy lately, and I haven't been doing it a lot. You know, but you know, I'll get back into it again. And so what I'm going to say here is, you know, this video is about the enemas specifically. So what I've done is ate the best raw food diet. Then I collected all my urine over a couple weeks or whatever, right? And then I just let it sit. Now, I've tried different, you know, I've tried hemp and bamboo and cotton cloths over here. That stuff just all disintegrates with the urine. So actually, this bleached white paper towels work the best, or coffee filters as well. Like here is, you know, a coffee filter one, and it's doing really good. And if you just put this in your cupboard with the lid over top, it really doesn't smell that much, you know, like maybe a bit. But so what I've done to bring down the smell is I just take a big plastic Tupperware container. All right, I perfected this technique for doing these fermented urine enemas and creating fermented urine, the good stuff. So what I do is I just put all these glass jars in the rubber bucket, in the rubber container, alright? Then I put little like cloths and towels in between so the glass doesn't rub. Then, you know, I make sure I don't fill it to the top, about 3/4 right there. That way nothing spills on here if you're moving it or shaking it. And do use these bleached paper towels or coffee filters. Put the rubber band, no bugskin and no contaminants. It'll mold if you don't put this on top. Chances are after 3 months or 4 months there will be mold because contamination gets in and it oxidizes with the top. Okay, so then what I do is also at the very top of the Rubbermaid container, then I place over a towel over that, and then I put the lid on top of the towel. Now if you don't do that, what happens is you get condensation all over the place, and it's all wet in the bottom, and all this stuff gets wet, and it's just a big mess, alright? So, and that way it doesn't smell too, alright? So, because there's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of air between the towel and the top of the lid of the Tupperware container, and then that way no condensation, none of this gets dissolves and gets messed up. And you know, so that human biotic mushroom is the most powerful antibiotic, natural antibiotic, period, on this planet. And this, when you pee urine out, like this is fresh urine right here from today, all right, or maybe a couple days old. I don't know. I have lots sitting around all the time. Sometimes it's a week old, sometimes it's a day old, all right. So you take that, right, and then then it just ferments. Now what happens is this urine, even though I'm a healthy person, you know, I do a lot to keep myself healthy, this is acidic. If you take the pH strips for saliva and urine and test it, it will be slightly acidic. Now some people, I've had some urine come out fresh that was also alkaline, but in general it's acidic, which is below 7, okay? And then as soon as the urine ages, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, as it raises, the pH raises as well. I already discovered that through my own thing. I didn't know that. Maybe I'm sure people know that, but I didn't. I discovered it independently. And you know, so what happens is this pH rises up to the monoatomic pH state between 10.5 and 10.75. I don't exactly know how high that this alkaline could go. It may go even above lye. But the monoatomic elements form at, like I said, the pH of 10.5 to 10.75. And I've had the monoatomic mushroom even appear at like a 9 pH too. So it's not an exact science, but that is the range that the monoatomics like to form. Now there are other factors that be, alright? So that monoatomic, the second one that was produced, alright, that was not in the monoatomic the awesome range, right, of 10.5 to 10.75. So that monoatomic, we'll go and get that mushroom. Check out my other video. I'll put the link here to check out that one. I'll be eating that other mushroom after I do this, or I don't know when I'll do it. I might do it in a couple days. It's got to feel right. But what I'm saying is the alkalinity rises. pH. Fresh urine is either neutral or slightly acidic or very acidic, even to 4.5. Now the thing is that when you ingest the fresh urine, what happens is it goes in acidic in your body, but then your body works with it to produce alkaline state in the body, just like lemons, which is the the second ingredient of the liver flush and gallbladder flush, is lemons are acidic too, like around 4.5 acidicness, very acidic. Now, they go in the body, they also become alkaline because, the reason why is because the lemons, they help the liver to produce bile, and the gallbladder stores and concentrates the bile up to 10 times its strength. So, that the lemon helps the liver to produce bile, which alkalizes the body. The bile is an alkalinity of average of 9.5 pH, which is just a little bit below the monoatomic elements. So these monoatomic elements produced from aged urine are more alkaline than the bile that is our most alkaline substance in our body. So this, and that's what supports our immune system. That alkalinity goes through our intestinal tract and keeps our intestines strong, where over 80% of the immune system is located in the intestinal tract. So by having healthy intestines, which means when you're doing these enemas, you'll see all this candida coming out in the toilet. If you don't know what it looks like, what it is white and yellow, kind of tubular and soft kind of stuff like that. You look inside and you'll see stuff you don't normally see when you take a shit. It'll be yellow to white, and there's different kinds as well. There's mucus kinds as well. You may flush out parasites as well, and you look in there and see what you get. There may be some worms, some ringworms, tapeworms. There may be all kinds of other parasites too, microscopic ones, a little bit bigger, all different sizes. Alright, so if you do produce the mushroom, which I call the M-state mushroom, the monoatomic mushroom, the M mushroom, as well as the human biotic mushroom, or antibiotic mushroom. Alright, that mushroom, if you see that appear, you have living monoatomic elements, just like the kombucha mushroom is also acidic, like lemons and urine. Kombucha mushroom is around acidicness of 4.5 as well. Same thing, it goes in the body and it turns alkaline in the body. Now there is a conversion process that takes place in the body from going from acidic to alkaline. The body has to manage that and convert it. It is take a little bit of energy, not a lot, but the fact is this is already alkaline, so the body doesn't have to do anything. It goes in alkaline, and when you do enemas with anything, that includes even, say, beers, alright? It doesn't matter what you're taking. The fact is that enemas are 6 to 8 times more directly absorbed into your body, directly into your bloodstream and into your body than taking things orally. If you're going to take something orally, even if it's just 1 or 2 drops of urine because you don't like the taste of it, or you want to dilute it, you could use it as homeopathy. You could put a little couple drops in water, all right, fresh, clean water, distilled, or vortexed, or ozonated, or whatever the best water you got. You put a few drops of urine in there, and then drink that. You won't even taste it, and you're going to get homeopathic dosage and build your way up. Also, you can just take a little dropper or a sprayer and spray it right under your tongue. Right there. And if you do anything, you place it under your tongue, supplements, or even drugs like say ecstasy or whatever you're taking. You put it under your tongue right there, it's going to go directly into your bloodstream much faster than if you just swallow it. It goes in your stomach. One thing about your stomach is your stomach has the hydrochloric acids. Now those hydrochloric acids, they get in the way of a lot of taking things in your body because those stuff to break it down. So to bypass that, you want to fast and then consume these the monoatomic powders that you can buy, all right, stuff like that. Because if it gets a hydrochloric acid, mixes in, then it becomes a chloride and it becomes ineffective. It actually doesn't nearly work. Like 1/10 is good. So just put things under your tongue there, all right, and that's going to go in faster. Now the only thing faster than enemas and is actually injecting things straight into your bloodstream. That's the most fast and direct way to get things in your body. But enemas are 6 to 8, maybe even 10 times more absorbable and directly going into your bloodstream. So let's put it this way: if you drank 8 to 10 beers and you did 1 beer enema, you would be about equivalent as drunk. As a weird analogy as that is, because I don't drink myself, it definitely ain't good for your liver, all right? And so, I don't recommend it. I recommend actually putting stuff in there that's going to be good for you, all right? So, all right, so here we go. You want, get your filtered water and, slightly warm is the best, all right, on the warm side. If you don't have filtered water, don't worry about it. You've been drinking fluoride, chloride water your whole life. What's the difference? It's not really going to matter to you. Once you start making lifestyle changes and you start doing the work, then you may consider, wanting to invest in a water filter machine or whatever. But, until then, use what you have. It ain't going to kill you. It's water. You're eating hamburgers in McDonald's. Well, I'm not saying all of you, but some of you are eating all kinds of deep fried foods, and then you go and say stupid little things like, hey, you're bathing in fluoride water, or you're drinking tap water. It's like, so what, man? So what? Big deal. It's fucking water. You tell me, that's so bad, right? You got to get your head on straight with that stuff, man. Look at the life you live, and then don't point out some little dot in that guy's eye when you got the plank in your eye. It's like, so what? It's fucking water, man. When was water ever so bad, right? So, anyways, let's get this stuff in there, right? So, as you can see, this dark stuff on top there, that is the dark stuff, and that's got its own monoatomic great stuff as well. All parts of this stuff is good, all right? That, if you see that, that's great. You got the good stuff in there, all right? And then down here, you see it slowly gets lighter, and then at the bottom, you got all that cream there with the high monoatomic cream, which you can extract the pure powders from as well, okay? So, let's see, we're going to do this. We've got a little bit of battery life left here. We may have to, I've got 1 minute left on there. So you can stir it up a bit too first, all right? Get some of that dark stuff and even stir up, some of the cream on the bottom a bit and get it in there as well, because that's all got good monoatomics. Or just keep the cream at the bottom and save it for your skin creams and stuff, alright? Cream, 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 buddy, cream, alright? So here we go. Alright, so that's a good amount of that, alright? And the great thing about the enemas too is that you don't taste it, right? You're drinking this aged urine stuff, man. It's, It's a pretty nasty taste, I must say, right? But doing the enema, no problem, no taste, you know, nothing but you feel good after. That's it. Right? So I'm gonna also teach you how to make your own enema buckets like this. All right? So you don't. And it's for cheap, and they're way better quality because they're made out of glass. All right? And I think most of you must know by now that glass is better than plastic. I sure hope you do. Alright, so there you go. You just run the end through the water here, alright, and you're going to get, right here, you're going to get the water coming out the other end. Alright, it cut out. I'm back now. I'll just tell you, so as far as making these enema buckets out of the 4-liter pickle jars, or you can do smaller jars as well. You know, this is a really small jar. I believe that's, you know, 1 liter or half a liter or whatever. So you can even do with that, right? But, you know, there's even ways to just get, you know, some tubing from the hardware store or whatever and making your own as well. So there's lots of possibilities. Just be creative and use what you can. But the disposable enema bags you get at Pharmacies are only like, they're under 10 bucks. They're 5 or 6 bucks or something. Like I said, I've been using this for like 3 years or whatever, the same one, and it works fine. You know, it'd be nice to get a new one, but it still works. So anyways, you just put, well, what we've done is, as you've seen, I ran it through the tap first, alright? And that way what happens is the water, the liquid goes in the tube, okay? And that acts as a siphon principle, so that when you put this end in, the water here, and you put it down to the bottom, like that, you can see it in there, as long as this tube is below where you're laying on the ground to do your enema, then because the water, the liquid isn't here, the gravity's going to pull it down and it's going to work. If you don't have any liquid in this thing, alright, you turn on the valve here. When you turn this on, nothing's going to come out. That's because there's no gravity. There's no siphon principle in there. The enema buckets you buy in the store, the little, you know, the little plastic ones, they have a little tube at the bottom here that you stick in, so you don't have to do the siphon principle. Alright, you just stick it on. Now, that's one option, but I prefer to use glass, and plus you can do a whole 120 ounce. So I'm going to teach you how to do proper enema here. I've done many other videos on this, but I'm going to show you hands-on. I'm going to do demonstration, tutorial, instructional video on how to do these proper enemas in the most efficient, best way that's going to get out the most candida, the most toxins, going to get through past the large intestines. It's going to go up the large intestines, across the transverse colon, down the ascending colon here, and then it's going to also pass the sequel valve, which connects the large and small intestines. This valve keeps the different bacteria out of the small and large intestines here. The small intestine is very large. Most people that are doing enemas, including coffee enemas, Rejuvenac, kombucha enemas, all these probiotic enemas, the fact is that, you know, most people that are doing them are doing small enemas of 24 ounces or maybe 48 at the most, and they're not passing that sequel valve. They're not going into the small intestines. They're only going in the lower section of the large intestines, which is the least. You know, doing the least amount of cleaning, because that part of the body is naturally acidic anyways, and those probiotic bacteria don't do very well at the very bottom of the large intestines, where, you know, the feces is always collecting and trapped in there, and it's always, you know. So the fact is you have to do these large enemas. You have to do inversions. You have to do belly rolls. Alright, you have to do stomach pumps, and you know, go head inversions on the headstand, and you got to do all these things. Otherwise, you're not going to get it in there, and you're not going to flush out very much stuff, and you're not going to get this bacteria, because this bacteria is the ultimate bacteria for the intestinal tract to have a friendly flora, the beneficial friendly flora that's going to support the immune system and the overall body strength of the digestive system, and it's going to be alkalize the body by getting rid of the acidic candida bacteria. So the large and the small intestines has different kinds of bacteria in it. Each one has separate different kinds. They're closely connected, but this is the ultimate here for the bacteria. This is a probiotic, but even more so it's an antibiotic. The probiotics of the kombucha mushroom, that is a probiotic. You know, it's got antibiotic properties as well, but it's more of a probiotic. All right, and this is an antibiotic. So this is the male. This is the male, and the kombucha is the female. All right, we need both. We got to balance it out. But this has more power. It has more strength. Just like most masculine bodies have more strength and more physical power. All right, so. And in any case, alright, so we're ready to do this enema here. I'm going to change the protocol here of the video. We're going to move it over this way, and I'm going to do the video demonstration, alright, which I have done quite a few times here on YouTube, on different channels. So what I recommend is doing this in the bathroom, alright. So, yeah, it looks like the battery's about to die here, so I'm going to have to charge the battery before we get started. I'll just briefly describe a few little things you want to have here handy when you're doing the enemas in your bathroom. You want it like a pillow, just a pillow or two pillows, because what you're going to want to do is put that there on the ground so that when you lie down on your right side like this, when you lie down here on your right side like this, see, if you're laying on one, two, or even three pillows, what happens is your body goes on an angle like this, okay? So when you insert this and you open the valve and that's going through, what's going to happen is that is going to build up and move, because the way that the large intestine drains out the left side of the body right here, alright? So this part, if you're laying on your right side and you're on an angle, what's happening is that fills up, it goes up here, and then it goes down the transverse colon over here, which goes across. If you are laying on your left side like this, well, what's going to happen is nothing. You're just going to fill up the large intestine down here, and it's not going to go against gravity and go up the transverse colon. No, it's not going to. You're only going to clean out the large intestine. You're not going to get nothing into the small intestine. You're going to get nothing to the other side of the transverse colon. The only way you can do that if you do it this way is if you do it, you insert it and it fills up here, then you roll back like this into a head inversion, turn around like this, which is not easy to do in a small thing, and get back on this side. So don't do that. It's not going to be good, or it's not going to work. It's not efficient. So you lay on your right side like this, okay? It goes up here, the pressure will build up, and if you're on an angle, it makes it even easier to come down and cross the transverse colon. It'll fill up down here, and they'll start collecting down there, and start to get through the sequel valve. All right. So, in order to get past that even further and get it more into the small intestines, once you've filled up and done that, then you're going to want to roll over this way slowly. It'll roll over like this, come up into this position, and then this is where you're going to want to do a handstand like this. Handstand against the back of the door like this, and then you take in deep breaths, and you can feel it gurgling through here, right? You'll feel stuff moving. You can get your hands in there shaking it, belly pumps. You know, and you can even do some yoga stuff. Get your leg out there and stretch it while you're here, all right? This is going to bring all the oxygen to your brain. You should be doing these inversions every day anyways. This is going to give you good brain function, clarity of thought, concentration. It's going to bring all that blood and oxygen to your brain, right? And it's going to supercharge. It's good for growing your hair back, if you got balding. This is all good stuff as well, right? And then once you've done that for a while, you come back up, and here's a couple other exercises you can do. You can go down here on your fours like this, and go in, up, down, up, down, up, breathing like that. Then you can come up like this, and do a little bit of stretch. Then get like this and shake it right in there. All right, shake it and just give it a good shake. You can do some percussion like this. Then you're going to want to do the belly rolls. Let me see if we're still on. Yes, the battery's still going. Alright, so with the belly rolls, you want to be able to get the muscles going like this. And then you can get the yogi movements like this. You suck in, you breathe all your air out, suck in, and you get a little thing to form in the middle like this, and you can move it side to side. Alright, I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's a really good one. Alright. And then you go back into a headstand again. You're going to want to hold these enemas for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. You can even do it longer, whatever feels comfortable for you, you know. Get it in there, do some more belly shaking like this. You can also belly roll this way as well as up, you know, develop the muscles. So this is down, and this is up. It's been a while since I did that. I'll have to practice that again. Alright, so here I'm going to go get the batteries charged up. We'll come back and I'll guide you through it, because there's a lot of other techniques I haven't talked about, such as the perineum muscle right here, which is located between the anus and genital, and this is what connects us to the earth, brings up the spiritual earth energy into our higher chakras, bring up the kundalini energy. So we're going to be contracting that as well as doing really nice soft breathing and concentration, and we're going to, I'm going to guide you through these enemas, because, you know, if you don't do this yourself, you're going to have to get a nurse to do this, and you know, this is, you know, if you can do it yourself, it's kind of a lot more pleasurable and a lot easier to do than rather have somebody else do this for you. Right? So I'm going to teach you how to do it, and I want you to feel comfortable about it and know that you're doing something that's really good for you and the planet, your friends and family, and it's gonna bring you a lot of spiritual growth. All right, so we'll be back and we'll do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here. The Fresh Man back. All right, so here we are, and this video will be on the Europaths as well as monoatoms, and I guess the liver flesh man, maybe cancer diets as well. So in any case, this is a good cancer treatment. Alright, this is gonna, if you're doing a lot of coffee enemas, the thing is that these antibiotic and probiotic enemas are gonna reseed your intestines with friendly bacteria. The coffee enemas are really good for treating cancer, because you know, you can actually release liver and gallbladder stones with just coffee enemas, especially if you're fasting, either water fasting or master cleansing. But if you're doing all these coffee enemas, coffee is acidic, and what happens is in the intestines, what happens is that creates an acidic intestines, and that does not, you know, it works to purify the blood, and it works to clean the liver and gallbladder, but it doesn't leave the intestinal tract in a healthy terrain state of a friendly, beneficial flora. So you really want to be doing these enemas if you're doing all those coffee enemas as well. And even if you're doing the liver and gallbladder flush, when you're done doing that, you want to reseed the colon with any of the probiotics like Rejuvelac, with the kombucha mushroom, and this fermented urine, and any other kinds of probiotic, even like yogurts. You can make your own kefir yogurt, the coconut, you know, make coconut kefir. But here we're going to get into this here. I'm going to give you the little tips and training like I do in most of my enema videos to give you a better understanding. And while I'm taking this enema, I'm also going to talk about how monoatomic elements were made with lye. So far all I told you is that they use lye, and most people are using Drano to do it because it has a high concentration of lye. And I'll tell you exactly how to make it with that, with ocean water, as well as all the ancient solar sea salts that were deposited over 2 million years ago, such as the Himalayan sea salt, Celtic sea salt, Atlantic sea salt, Pacific sea salt, and dead sea salt. And dead sea salt has the highest concentration of monoatomics than any other sea salt. Highly recommend getting the dead sea salt if you're going to get one of the ancient solar sea salts. Alright? So what you're going to want is you're going to want to put your jar here on top of the sink, or what I do is inside the top drawer, because that way that the tube can get down easy like this and you have room to move it down here. Now this has to be at least this high or so, otherwise if it's only this high there's not enough pressure to get it all through. Alright? Now this whole jar here is about 124 ounces. They give or take anywhere from 100 to 130 ounces. They're all considered 4 liters, but they're all a little bit different in size exactly, but they're around 4 liters. Alright? And then what I get is another jar. Alright, this one don't matter if it's plastic or glass, but these are easy to come by. Alright, they're recycled everywhere. You know, this is probably some, you know, pasta sauce container or whatever. But, you know, and I drink out of these glass jars as well. And so, what we're going to want to do here, I just want to show you, see the siphon principle. If there was no water, if I didn't run this under the sink, alright, and have water in here, this would not work. When I open the hose here, lower it down, and sometimes it gets, you have to open this up a little bit here. Okay, so look, it's not, the siphon is not working here because the water, so either you run it through the sink again, or you just do this. You just put your mouth over here and suck it out. Actually, raise it above here like this. There. Now I just sucked it and it come up to about there. I stopped, so nothing got in my mouth. Now I open the clamp and look, there comes the fluid right there. Alright? Now if you can see, there's actually a little bit of fluid there and there. And that's how these enemas work. There's a hole out the end as well as a hole out the side, right? And that helps to drain it much faster. You see how fast it comes out, how much it comes out. So, to show you how that works, and if you don't understand how to make this thing, alright, all it is a 4 liter pickle jar with a hole in the top. I took out the enema bag, alright, cut the bag off, and that's it. You're done. It's an enema bag and a jar, and that's it. And a lid, that's it. And it's high quality. It's you can make it for under 10 bucks, alright? It's definitely the way to go, right? Then what you're going to want is your own lubrication of some kind. This here is coconut oil. I highly recommend coconut oil. You could also use castor oil, olive oil, any kind of oil, but olive oil works the best. It has the best lubrication properties because it's a little bit thicker. So you just put a little bit on your finger like that, or you can just dab it inside, but you just put it on like this, right? You get it on there. That's going to really go in easy. Now, this little glass jar, I just stick it in there because sometimes it leaks, alright? Sometimes when they get old, alright, and then the little clamp, if you leave the clamp on, you know, a little bit of water gets out. So, now, here we go. So what you're going to want to do, like I said, you just lay down on your right side, right? Like I said, I showed you why it's the right side. Told you exactly why, so you can pass down the transverse colon and get through the sequel valve and into the small intestines. Alright, so we got a good chute there, and we're going to guide you through this. So, here we go. Basically, lay on your right side, you can take a couple deep breaths and relax. And then this is now got its coconut oil on it, so you basically just, you know, insert it in, right? And push it in there quite a good amount there, like you know, all the way in there, about 4 inches or so. So nothing's going to leak out, and then you're just going to turn on that clamp there, the little clamp on there. Now you can just breathe, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to contract the perineum muscle I talked about, which is used in yogi as it's called mula bandha. And that muscle is located right between the anus and genitals at the base of the spine, and this perineum muscle is going to, you know, pull up
the energy and keep the energy going in up to your heart chakras and into your heart chakra here. So you can see this starting to drop here now. All right, it may feel uncomfortable as well, and if it does and it starts to become painful or anything, you just want to turn off the clamp as well. Do some breathing. Shut it back off so it stops and you can build up again and your intestines can get used to it. Now, a couple of other techniques is, a lot of times what happens is you do a little bit like this, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 ounces or whatever, and then you feel discomfort and you want to release it immediately. Well, if you do that, go and do it. You know, go to the toilet, release it, and what will happen is you'll kind of crap out a few little chunks of stools and this and that. And then if you go back and do it again, it'll be so much easier. You'll be able to get so much more in, and it won't have hardly any pain or any discomfort, because the fact is it gets plugged up in there, and then the liquid can't move through, and there's pressure, and you just want to prematurely release it. So there's a couple techniques around that. One is you can fast first. You can fast for the day, or at least for 3-4 hours before you do it. Try to empty the digestive system. You could take some laxatives such as Oxymag or prune juice. So fasting is definitely going to help, because then there's going to be a lot more room in the intestines, and you may be able to take a larger amount than you could if it was just plugged up with stuff, right? So that's one technique, all right? So I'm going to open this back up, and we're going to see some more go down. Another technique is this, all right? So you take in really deep breaths and all the way out. Alright, and then you do that, you know, a couple of times. You can close it off again and relax. Keep breathing. Now, when you take in these deep breaths, what happens is, you know, the digestive system and the intestines relax more. Plus, the water can move through there because there's movement. Alright, if you become rigid and you tense up and you get like all tense and you stop breathing, you know, there's no flow in there in the intestines. Also, you can rub around a bit and massage it while you're taking it, and then stop for a while. Now, if you do feel like you got to release it, you know, and the pressure's building up, another little secret tip you can do is, you know, you can just quickly pop right up into the handstand like I showed you earlier before. And what this is going to do is gravity is going to pull everything down, and this is going to bring it also through the transverse colon, and this is going to also pass the sequel valve as it drains through the valve, and it's going to get in your small intestines, and you can also, you know, do the belly rubs as well. But this gravity is going to help you to hold it longer as well. Now, I haven't done one of these for a while, so now I'm going to release this one here, and then I'm going to fill this back up, and we're going to do the rest, all right? Alright, so a couple little chunk stuff come out, like I said, and that's why I was experiencing pressure and pain. So this next one I do is going to be a lot easier. Now, if you look at how much I actually got out here, that is about not quite half, but more than 1/3. All right, it's probably you know, more than 1/3, almost roughly half. So that's roughly
50 ounces there. That's roughly 50 ounces. So that would be a full regular plastic enema jar one, okay? So here, let me just have my little time here to myself. It's definitely quite more challenging to do this on camera and to be talking rather than just having your own energy and being in meditation. I also recommend, you know, putting on a candle and doing it in the dark or whatever, but here, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, man, folks, I'm back here. Yes, quite a bit of stuff come out there, as well as the yellow and white candida, really dark yellow stuff as well. You know, it never ceases to amaze me how much stuff comes out of my body, you know, no matter how much cleansing I do. I don't know what happens and where all the stuff how it gets stuck in there and where it comes from. All I know is it never ceases to amaze me. That stuff keeps coming out. Alright, so yeah, let's fill up this enema jar here again. Fill her up and see if we could get her all in. This was quite a concentrated quite a concentrated one as well. So put some more of that in as well. Water here. Like, I do have a water filter here in the kitchen, and eventually I'll get one for the bathroom here, for the shower and the bath. But for today, this is gonna work just fine. Alright, fully loaded back up. Boom. Here we go. We're going to go through it again here. And this time, like I say, it should be a lot easier, because now, you know, you take in like 1/4 to 1/3, and then you release it, and that way you get rid of any kind of solid stuff. Will just flush out any crap or whatever candida and stuff, and make room in there to take a larger amount. Alright, the second time. That's a little really important little tip there, right? So let's get this in here, right? Alright, yes, okay, it's all going in. Alright, so again, a deep breathing, contracting the perineal muscle, focusing and concentrating on healing your body, healing others, helping to heal cancer on this planet. Have a strong mind, you know, go beyond pain.
there. See how we're doing? Alright, that was 2/3. Alright. If you can, you know, get up in the handstand there. If you can't, then just go and release it. Try again. Alright. Alright, that's enough. And release. And just nice all liquid there, no solid. That's what, by doing it the first time, the 1/3 gets rid of that. Now I'll just water this down with water one more time and do it again. And then I'll eat the mushroom here after a nice good session of this stuff. So we'll be back in just a sec. Alright, I'm back here, folks. I just want to show you what the candida looks like here. Show you what this is. The candida is an acidic buildup there in the intestines. This wreaks havoc in the intestines and the digestive system, and creates an acidic body. Alright, so this is, like I say, it never ceases to amaze me, the stuff that comes out more and more. I mean, just dumps and loads of this stuff comes out almost every time, right? And I eat a healthy diet and all this. So as you can see right there, it's very white and yellow kind of chunky things. Now if you actually, you know, you inspect it and you take it out, and you could even, you know, wear gloves if you want. I don't even bother. I just use my hands. I mean, think of it. You got to get your brain wrapped around the truth of it. This was in your body, you know. How much harm is that going to do on your fingers, on your skin? Hardly any. Even if you absorb a little bit of it in there, it's not going to do shit all to you. Alright? That was in your intestinal tract where you digest food. So, you know, it's a matter of understanding the truth of it. So, you see this stuff here, it's you know, it's yellow and whitish, and if you squeeze it, you can feel it's almost like it can be rubbery a bit, like it's actually like almost like a worm, like it's soft like that. And then there's other stuff too that's more like a powder that will just dissolve and disintegrate as soon as you put pressure to it. And then there's even more harder stuff. See, this one can dissolve a bit, but it's still a bit. And then there's also this tubular stuff, which I don't have any here, which is even harder, and it doesn't break down very easy at all. Whereas most of all this stuff here, it just you know, you can press it and it just you know, breaks up. Now when I do, I got some videos on how to do parasite enemas, which uses black walnut, wormwood, and cloves, as well as garlic. And what happened is, I got the videos out there where what happens is all these parasites, including worms, will hide inside the candida. Now, these worms do not come out when I do regular enemas with, say, urine or Rejuvilac or kombucha or just water or chlorophyll. All kinds of enema recipes I have out there hardly ever produce worms and parasites that come out the enemas, because
the enemas can survive there. What they do is they cling onto the walls of the intestinal tract with their teeth. So when you try to flush them out, they just grab a hold and they can't flush out. Now when you use black walnut and wormwood and garlic, wormwood especially, and you do an enemas, then the parasites, it's a poison to them and they die. So they can't just attach to the wall. So what they'll do, if you see my videos on this one, just type up on YouTube liver flush man parasite enema recipe, and you'll see in the video it shows all these worms and parasites that hide out, and they try to hide in the candida in order so that they can, you know, eat the candida and try to wait it out in there and hold off in the candida so that they don't get poisoned and killed. Now these worms are really smart, and these parasites are smart, so they hide in this candida. And that's the same thing with the liver and gallbladder stones. The parasites will try to hide inside the stones and stuff like that, and so that they don't die. So so this stuff is, you know, you're gonna feel great after you release this. You know, this is quite a bit of stuff here, and you won't release nearly any of candida if you don't do the inversions, the handstands, and the belly pumps, and the belly rolls, and you don't hold it for a long time, and you know you're not going to get very much stuff out. All right, and even if you do, you know, it's only going to be a small part of it, just the last little end of the large intestines. So so I just want to show you what this stuff looks like, and this is the real deal. This is candida, and when you get this out of your body, you're going to feel healthier. Your skin is going to be looking better. You're going to have better brain function, better digestive system, and you're just going to feel overall general well-being of health. Alright? So I know it's not the most pleasant thing to look at, alright, but that's the thing, is that it's important, and you're going to live a happier, longer life if you do this and get this stuff out, because this stuff builds up and builds up over a lifetime. It builds up to unimaginable amounts, and the overgrowth of candida is going to cause a lot of problems in the body. Right? So, alright, let's get back down to this. Let me charge up the battery one last time here, and we'll do the final enema here. And while I'm taking that one, I'll see if I can manage to talk about making monoatomics with the ocean water and the Dead Sea salt using lye, sodium hydroxide, and not Drano. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, folks, I want you to see, this is the about 10-15 minutes later. I just had a bath over there in really, really hot water, and you know, I actually felt intuitively that although it's chlorinated and fluoride and stuff, I felt that actually worked in the benefit in this situation. I imagined what it would be like to be in, you know, pure, pristine water, and what happens then is that your body doesn't draw the toxins. If you have a really strong liver, you've been cleansing your liver and gallbladder, and you know, been doing enemas, and you've been on a raw food diet, what happens is toxins in the environment, including in your water, you become a transducer. You pull toxins from the environment, even from people, from tissues of people at higher levels. But just with this chlorinated water, what happens is your body sucks in all the toxins, and then you release them. So about a few minutes after I will lie down in my bed, you know, I just have the hottest detox bath possible and breathe through it and get through it, and then go lie down and dry off, and then I was able to release all of this candida again. Alright, another huge, that's all candida, there's nothing else but candida in there, right? Maybe a small bacteria, microbes and stuff, but you know, this is also pretty foul smelling as well. And you know, when you get that stuff out, man, do you ever feel much better, lighter, you know, just a lot better. So I just want to show you that again. We're going to have a little break here. I'm going to do another enema. We're going to take the full thing. First time we did 1/3. Then we did 2/3. This time we're going to do the whole thing. Alright? I'm going to press the limits. I'm going to do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna actually, I'm feeling ready. I'm gonna eat that human biotic mushroom, also called the monoatomic mushroom, produced by the aged urine. Second one I'll be eating now, and the second one I've produced. And then I'll give a nice testimony experience again of what the whole experience was of the monoatomic state, the non-dualistic state of consciousness that resonates with the Sirius star system, and in the 10th dimension of the 6th overtone in the second octave, 6th overtone, second overtone of the 6th octave of 10th dimension. That's very closely where this monoatomic elements resonate with. So anyways, we'll see you back for the enema. Take a little break here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here I am. I'm back. I never did the third enema that night. Now it's the next morning here. I had a great sleep and well rested here, so I'm going to be back at it this morning. I just want to show you, here's a collection of, this is the ones we've been doing enemas with here. So we used quite a bit. I did a lot, very concentrated. If you're doing these enemas and you have this concentrated to 3 to 6 months old, then you really only need a little bit, right? This could last you all year. Do it once or twice a month, and you're going to be like super healthy. You're not going to be getting nearly as sick at all. Especially if you do it in the winter, right? All this fermented urine is also, like I said, the most powerful antibiotic medicine, the natural antibiotic. So all this stuff is also alternative to vaccinations and flu shots. Okay, so here's another one we got, and you can see as well. Alright, there's the little cream on the bottom. There's the nice dark stuff on top. That's all brewing, nice nature's beer right here. This is going to alter your consciousness in a way that connects you to spiritual realities and spiritual dimensions. So it's very different than just beer, because beer will just bring you further in the third dimension into density and lower forms of consciousness where you're more unconsciously doing things. This is conscious building, altered state consciousness building. Now you see the dark stuff on there. This thing's brewing as well. Now this is the one that has the mushroom here. Now the mushroom usually floats on top. This one sunk to the bottom. I'll give you a little tip. If you do grow one of these mushrooms, what you want to do is you don't want to take it out. You want to leave it in there. What I tried to do is clean the little top there so it looked all nice, when I made my video, but in reality don't do that, because what happens is, so far they're really thin mushrooms compared to the kombucha. They grow a lot slower, at least they seem to, and whatever is really thin, so it's very delicate, and if you take it out, the chances are you're going to put a hole in it, and as soon as there's a hole, it'll sink to the bottom. Now with the kombucha mushrooms, the mushroom, if it sinks to the bottom, a new one grows on top, and this one does not seem to do that. Alright, so in any case, if the mushroom sinks, it begins to slowly die as well, because it uses the oxygen, and it likes to survive on the top level up here. Okay, so I'm going to take out this mushroom as well, and I'm going to eat this one as well. This will be my second one eating, and I will take it out and show you what it looks like and everything. Alright, so these have all been brewing for 3 or 4 months or whatever. Alright, and 6 to 9 months is about perfect. Very perfect, good quality monoatomics. This one as well has a nice little dark ring up top, not quite as dark, so it's a bit different. I also have the pH strips. We can test them, but I guarantee these are already, my pH strips only read to an alkalinity of 9.5, or 9, so they already are all at 9. All your urine, after you age it, it will be at least a pH of 9 after 3 or 4 months for sure, even like 2 or 3 months. Even if your urine started out very acidic, like a 4.5, within a few months or so, you'll already be above the pH of 9, which is already resonating with the bile of your liver and gallbladder. They're the bile, the most powerful immune boosting substances in the body with the high alkaline pH. And here's another one right here, And see, they all a bit different, but you know, this one looks really, really good because it's very, very dark here. Now they're all good, but you know, you can tell when there's a lot of coloration like that, a lot of cream at the bottom as well. Very, very good stuff, and that all depends on, you know, the kind of urine you are sampling, the foods you are eating, and the thoughts you are having, emotions, spiritual connections to people and plants and animals, all nature, crystals. Alright, so that's that little deal there. Now I'm going to show you also how I store these. Like I talked about earlier in the video, is how I use the Rubbermaid containers. Now that was an evolution of many months or even over years of doing this to perfect this, and I'm totally happy to share all these techniques with you for the people that are willing to do this spiritual work and get to experience these spiritual dimensions. Okay, so down here, here's the Rubbermaid container. Now what I've done is I've just added a couple pieces of wood in the bottom, and that way, the reason why I did that mostly is because before, when I didn't put the towel over top, then the lid, there was condensation coming out, and like I said, it made a big mess. Condensation would go to the top and it would drip down, get all over the lids like I said, I used hemp, cotton, and bamboo on the top, and all that stuff, the natural fibers just disintegrated. Alright, this is white bleach. I think the bleach helps. I'm not sure exactly why, but this stuff works really good, and you'll want to replace the lid maybe every month or two, alright, because it'll start to get a little bit not moldy, but it'll start to decay a bit too, but it takes a lot longer. So you got a month or two, maybe even three months before you got to change it. So just a couple times, right? Not too often. So what I do is I just, I place all these inside. All right, I fill them all up, and then I like to also just put a couple of old rags along the sides so that none of the glass is touching. So if you're carrying and moving the Rubbermaid container, then no glass is gonna clink and break. It's nice that way. It just keeps it. And then the final thing, it's really easy. It's quite an easy, simple little process. Then I just take a towel, I fold it in half like that, and I just place it right over the lid like that. All I do, just pull it like that, and then boom, then the lid goes on, and you just actually, push it right on there nice and tight like that. Now with this system here, you'll get basically almost no smell if you have this in your room. You can store it in a closet as well, and there's literally like no smell. Like I have at least I don't smell it. Now I don't think my friends really do either, and maybe once in a while when I have this stuff out and I'm doing enemas and stuff, and then I'm putting it away, but then you maybe just want to light some incense or whatever. But this system is really good. Alright, then because this towel is on here, it allows for air exchange through here, so that it not too much air exchange that the smell will penetrate out and get all over the room or wherever you are, but enough air exchange that the condensation doesn't build up, because there's an air exchange, so the water condensation don't build up, right? And that's it. Alright, that's how easy it is to manage and have this great operating system, and you can easily have this many bottles in there. So 5 or 6 of these big large ones here, or 3 or 4 of these large ones and 2 of these little ones, and that is a huge amount. That's a lot. All right. So anyways, I just thought I'd just show you that little tip there on how to do this properly and efficiently without the smell and without the hassle of having to clean up stuff all the time, and and having definitely that little tip, using just using these bleached white paper towels as opposed to trying natural things like hemp, bamboo, and cotton. These work better, as well as the coffee filters, and you just secure it with a rubber band and you're good to go. Alright, that's it. That's how simple that is. So here we go. Now we're going to perform this this final big large enema, and then we're going to go eat this monoatomic mushroom here, and so we'll see you back here in a sec. Alright, I'm back here. And this time what I'm doing here is because I'm really going to challenge myself this time to really get all of it in, the whole 4 liters or 128 ounces, whatever this exact one is here. And like I said, they fluctuate between like 105 to 130 ounces. Now what I've done is I've added another pillow here, alright, to the bottom. And that way I'm going to be up a little higher, so there's less pressure for it to prematurely come back out. So this is going to give me a better chance to get it all in. Alright, so alright, so here it is. It's all full up. I added more concentration. It's quite strong again as well. Alright, lots of powerful antibiotic properties in there. And so here's the coconut oil again. Boom, get a bit of coconut oil right on there. That makes it go in really easy, right? You could also do it without any oil or lubrication if you don't have any, but it makes things a lot easier, I can tell you that much. Alright, and that's it. We're ready to go here. Alright, last little thing I'll point out here. Here are the pH strips here for testing the saliva and urine. It says pH test strips, and you want to make sure it says test your acid alkaline levels for saliva or urine. Alright, and this pH is from an acidicness of 4.5 up to an alkalinity of 9. So these readouts are good, but if you can get ones that go up to 10, 11, or 12, then you can really test for the monoatomic range of 10.5 to 10.75. Right? And these ones here were given to me by a friend, and they go to 5.5 acidic and an 8 alkaline. So these are even less of a, the readout is even 1 pH less on the alkaline and acid levels, so they're less as accurate as well. Alright, there's also the digital meters you can get, which will be right accurate to the 0.01. So whereas these, it's all in the coloration here of what comes out, these colors, and they go by 0.5 pH difference. So it's not nearly as accurate as the digital readout, but you don't even need pH, unless you want to do your own testing to see how the urine does alkalize as you age it, just for your own, without just having blind faith and trusting me that that's it, because you don't really know for sure until you've tested it. But once you do know, or if you just want to take my word for it, whatever you want to do, the fact is that it does alkalize as it ages, and that's it. Alright, so and the monoatomics are in there. Is if you let your urine age for 3 to 9 months, around 6 months, that's where the monoatomics are going to form. Like I said, whatever alkaline or whatever acidicness of your urine that it came out, it's going to be alkaline around the range of monoatomics forming. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so here we go. Let's do this one. Alright, here we go. So here we go. Alright, I should get my little glass jar like I normally do. That was another little tip there that comes in handy for not getting a mess on the floor or anything, because when you're done, and you want to get up in that handstand really quick, because that's really important. It's better to put in less of your enema and do the headstand rather than try to put in a lot and not do the headstand, because the headstand is going to get it further in there, and it's going to be doing way more work to create that friendly beneficial bacteria, alright, that you'll want, not the candida. This is going to flush out the candida and reseed the intestines with the beneficial friendly bacteria. Alright, so there we go. Alright, we'll release the clip and see if I can keep talking here. So I mean, this is one way. The aged urine is to create the monoatomic elements at their most purest natural form from your own body. And these monoatomics also, they help the higher chakras and the higher endocrine glands, however you want to pronounce it, it's up to you. These glands include the thyroid here, as well as the pineal gland, the third eye, as well as the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is the master gland, called the seat of illumination. This pituitary gland connects us with the crown chakra and the state of enlightenment, alright? Full consciousness and enlightenment. So these glands also, they get calcified, alright, especially from tap water that has been chlorinated and fluorinated. Fluorine is a heavy metal that builds up in all of the endocrine glands, especially the thyroid. And that's why a lot of people have thyroid problems as they get older, is because that calcification, alright, causes a lack of ability for those endocrine glands to secrete, such as melatonin, tryptophan, serotonin, and DMT, natural DMT, to connect us with the sacred geometry and the language of light and spiritual dimensions and forms that exist. Alright, so when those are blocked, the thing is we experience this dimension as this dimension, the third dimension, and like I said, that is the polarity consciousness which we exist here, which is, it's the Tao, alright, the light and the dark, the hot and the cold. It's all the opposite, opposing forces of nature here. Now, these monoatomic elements, they exist outside, like I said, of this duality state, alright, out of the yin and the yang, in this mono, singular place that exists. Alright, so, well, I've done a little bit there, like before. Like I said, the best thing is if you're feeling a bit of pressure, and don't push it. I could do a headstand now, but really I want to release a little bit. I only did a little bit there. So I'm going to release this as well. Alright, I'm going to turn it off for a sec. Alright, we're back here, folks. There's only 7.5 minutes left on that film there, on the SD card, so I'll get this going again. I'm going to keep doing this until I can get that whole thing there in. Alright. Now I just released a little bit of some crud stuff came out, and so this is going to be easier now. Like that's a nice little tip and technique there to do. Alright, just put in a little bit the first time, or even a couple times, and then go for the bigger amount. Alright, and there'll be less pressure, less pain, less discomfort. I just filled the rest of that back up from here with the pure concentrated stuff, so this is going to be really potent again. Right? So again, just be breathing and all that. Now we're back to the monoatomic state, which exists beyond the duality polarity consciousness, which most of us experience here all the time. Right? So this is a new experience for you and for many people to experience this state of consciousness. Now back to the way monoatomics have been made for hundreds and thousands of years. The last 100 years it has been made, like I said, with Drano or lye, sodium hydroxide, because Drano contains a high percentage of lye, like maybe above 90, maybe even 95 or 99%. It's very high percent lye. But there's also other chemicals and impurities in there which are not necessarily of the
substance. So so how you do that? How do you do it with lye? You know, without the Drano, with just lye, sodium hydroxide. So you know, like I said, you can use any of the solar sea salts, any ancient salt that was deposited over 2 million years ago. Right, now that is, you do not make lye with that kind of salt, though. Not ocean salts of any kind of ancient solar salt. Just normal white refined table salt. Now I don't want to confuse you. You don't use table salt to extract the monoatomic elements from. You are only using, if you're going to make sodium hydroxide, all right, which is lye, which is a high alkaline pH of around, like I said, 12, 13, or 14, which is above the monoatomic state, you know, where monoatomics appear at 10.5 to 10.75. So that being said, you know, either you go buy lye online, and that's what you're going to use to raise the alkalinity to that magic number, 10.5 to 10.75, with the most magical, perfect, optimal number of 10.62. Alright, right in the middle of those two pH ranges. So, what you do is you get some ocean water, pure ocean water, the best stuff you can get, or you use dead sea salt. You can use the other sea salts, but dead sea salt has the highest concentration of monatomic elements by far, alright, by far, as well as iodine. And so what you do, let's do both scenarios, the ocean water and the dead sea salt. So with the ocean water, alright, with the ocean water, what you do is you get a big glass carboy, alright, used for making wine, right? You don't want to use no 5-gallon plastic bucket. You're making monatomic elements, you don't want to use plastic to do this, alright? So you get glass jar. You can even use these 4-liter pickle jars that we're using here for the enemas. Alright, you can, then the 5-gallon carboys are really good because you can do a large amount in one shot. Then there's even the 12-gallon demijohns, alright, which are glass as well, and they're used for making wine as well. So whatever, you want to use glass, in my opinion. So you go, because it's cheap anyways. You can't, it's not like, a water filtration system for me, they're thousands of dollars usually. So, it's out of the question. I can't afford it, right? But a glass carboy, 5-gallon carboy, it's, they're $10, maybe 15, 20 at the most. All right, you get them used on used classifieds, as well as thrift stores, all kinds of places will sell that. Alright, so there we go. We've done a little bit again. I told you, however long this takes, I got to release this again. Building up pressure, and it's very concentrated and powerful. Well, I'll keep talking about how to make the monatomic elements with the ocean water. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here. Filled her up again, another load here we're going to do. Alright, so see if we can get it all in this time. I'm really going to try hard here, see what happens. Alright, but you can only do what you can do, alright? You can't pass your limits there. So there it is, it's all oiled up. We could just throw a little bit more on the tip there. Alright, so alright, so where were we there with the monatomics with the ocean water? Okay, so you go get your glass carboy, alright, and then you fill up the ocean water in the most cleanest place you can, right? Cleanest ocean water, fill her up. Then what you do is you add the lye, alright, sodium hydroxide, pure, without the Drano. And you just raise the alkalinity to 10.62. Is perfect, alright, 10.62. And when you do that by just adding the sodium hydroxide, and you stir it up, and then you keep testing the pH until you reach that magic number of 10.62. Then you let it sit, just like this. You let it age, you let it ferment, alright, and you let it ferment for say roughly a week, alright, you let it sit, and then what will happen is all the cream will settle to the bottom, on that, and that has the monoatomic elements, especially concentrated in the cream, right? All that ocean water is good as well. You can drink it all. And the neat thing about ocean water as well is that ocean water hydrates your body, provides electrolytes, and every single known trace mineral, all 72 known ones as well as unknown ones. Now that is a lot different than, you know, drinking white refined table salt. That can make the sodium hydroxide, but white refined table salt dehydrates your body and your cells, provides no electrolytes and no trace minerals except iodine, but that iodine has been processed through heat, and that iodine is not going to chelate heavy metals, which bonds heavy metals to flush them out your body. That is not going to decalcify the pineal gland, pituitary, hypothalamus, or any of the endocrine glands, alright? So the thing is that's a big misconception. Ocean water is actually hydrating for the body. You do not get hydrated from drinking ocean water. You hydrate your body, provide electrolytes, and all 72 trace minerals. So that is a myth, that is a misconception, and that is a lie, a straight out lie, alright? That's, the ocean water is not going to do that. You can drink ocean water, right? Now, so you get the ocean water, you put in the sodium hydroxide, raise the pH to the magic 10.62 level, you let it sit, the cream settles to the bottom. Then you either keep that liquid and drink it, or do enemas with it, or whatever you want to do with it. Make soups, salads, dressings for salads, whatever you want. Or just throw it out, alright? Whatever you want. Water your plants, do whatever. Now that cream that settles to the bottom, that is going to have the monatomic elements in it, concentrated there in form. So what you do then is you add more fresh water, filtered fresh water, and you let that settle again. You let the monatomic cream settle to the bottom, alright? And I'll keep talking here, but I'm going to go into the headstand now. Alright, I did that time over half that time. And if I do this headstand, what happens is all that water gets brought up into the small intestines, past the sequel valve, and then that way I can add the rest of it, and we'll get that whole thing in there. Alright, so this is feeling really good. So now we're at first you let the first cream settle, and you wait it a week, let it all settle to the bottom, and you keep the pH at that magic 10.62, at least within the range of 10.5 and 10.75 while it's sitting there. So you want to check it periodically, say every a couple days or a week or whatever. Just keep an eye on it, make sure you're in that magic pH ratio. Then you're gonna drain all the water, the liquid on top of the cream at the bottom with the monatomic elements, and then you're going to add filtered fresh water to that, and then let that cream settle again to the bottom. I mean, well, it won't need to settle much; it'll still be there, and that's just going to get rid of. It's going to make it more pure. Now you don't have to do that, but what you do is you add more water 2, 3, or 4 times. And you let that sit again for a couple days or so, and then that monoatomic cream at the bottom there gets more and more pure as well, and then what happens is at the end of all that, the monoatomic cream there is perfect. You store it in the fridge, and that's it. So, every time I'll do another video on this. I mean, it's a lot harder to just, explain it in words. You need to see a hands-on tutorial how to do this. So I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so when you add the filtered water the second, third, and fourth time, you just let that sit again, and you don't raise the alkalinity to the magic number. That is just going to filter out any impurities and stuff, and then you're going to drain that 2 or 3 times, and the cream you're left with has got the monoatomics. From there you can further extract the monoatomic elements into its pure powder form, but all that stuff that's in there is great too. You don't just need the pure powder, because that also uses heat
heat and stuff, and that, even though it's pure powder, it's not activated. It doesn't have all of the other trace minerals and all of the other monatomic elements in its natural state without the heat and the processing. So what you do is, and that cream does not taste bad at all. It really doesn't have much of a taste, and you know, you store it in the fridge and you just put it in your mouth, put it on your tongue, put it in salad dressings and smoothies. Like I said, it doesn't have a taste, and it's super good for you because that is what that monoatomic state is. Like I said, is two pairs of bonding electrons that spin, alternating opposing directions at high frequencies and speeds. Now what that does, it creates what I call the Merkaba field, because what that is that's the male and the female with the bonding pairs of electrons spinning both ways, and that is creating a synergy, a synchronistic of the male and female aspects of the molecules and uniting them together to form the mono state, which is the non-dual, because that yin and the yang, the female and the male, has joined together and spin at the speed of light. That is creating this Merkaba field like a UFO with a 2-to-1 height-width ratio, and a spinning at the high speeds. It shoots out an energy field, an energy disk, while they're spinning at the molecular level, very far in distance as well. And so once we're able to utilize this technology, then what it is, you know, our bodies can basically at a cellular level, you know, start to develop its own ability to disappear from time and space. Now that ability, like I said, if you heat monatomic elements to a certain temperature, quite extremely high, it'll disappear from time and space, alright, completely. That mass, volume, weight, and physical appearance. When it's heated above around that range, it disappears, and when it's cooled below that range, it also comes back, it also appears. Now that is magic, I would say. Just like the fact that I discovered this human biotic mushroom, well, this appeared from nowhere. This appeared from my body, the colloids of my urine. Nothing else was added to the mix to create that. So it's the same thing. That mushroom appeared like magic. You know, I created that from my own body and the foods I ate and stuff like that. So, so this monatomic state and this monatomic elements, you know, what their characteristics are, it's much like the didgeridoo in the Aboriginal cultures, where all the Aboriginals and their whole basis of their culture is based on the didgeridoo, and that the didgeridoo sounded matter into form. So this vibration and this tone was able to create the universe and create matter and form through sound. All right, and sound can do amazing things. It can boil water. It can levitate objects and spin objects. Sound is amazing, amazing. So where am I getting at? So this monoatomic, I mean, it's connected to didgeridoo. The monoatomics, it has the ability for spirit to communicate with matter, with the third dimension in matter, which is physical density. All right. So this ability, spirit is able to move through these molecules of the monatomic state that spins at high frequency speeds beyond the dualistic, and that can penetrate anybody that consumes it, comes into contact with the energy of people who have embodied that energy. They are going to be affected by that spiritual force and that spiritual energy that can communicate with the third dimension, which is, you know, with the physicality. Right? So that time I was able to do the handstand there. We got in a little bit over half again. So I'll fill this back up, and this time it'll be a bit more diluted. I'm going to add water. Now, you know, the more concentrated this is, the harder it is to hold, the harder it is, you know, to get in, the more burning you may feel, because with the high alkalinity you can feel a burning sensation. That is going to kill the parasites. That is going to support the immune system. That is totally normal and natural. And but if you dilute it, and it's more water, it's going to be easier to take a large amount. And all the ones I've been doing with you here on video have been very, very concentrated with high concentrations of around 3 to 4 month old age urine that has a high alkalinity and is very concentrated, so that makes it a lot harder. Now this time I'll be diluting it with the rest with water, and I should be able to get that all in this time. Alright, so we'll see you back here in a sec. Alright, here we are, we're back folks. Alright, here we go. Get another one going here. Alright, it's quite a bit more diluted. Still quite very concentrated, but a lot more diluted than it was. Alright. So here we go, another one. This is what, number 5 now, I think here, right? Number 5. Alright, there we are. Just a bit more than halfway again. The great thing is that there's no right or wrong. There's no how much you gotta do or don't do. If you even want to do it, totally by choice. Nobody's forcing anybody to do nothing. Alright, gonna release this one. We didn't do it all again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna now eat the monoatomic mushroom here, the one that has sunk to the bottom, because I did take it out and it's very delicate and it got a hole in it, like I said. So I'm gonna take that out here, show you what it looks like. Then I'm gonna eat that. Then, you know, I'm gonna probably wait 5 or 10 minutes to digest some of that and get my body in the monoatomic state, and then I think then I will be able to do the full 128 ounce enema. Alright, sometimes they're more difficult than others, and so I'm gonna get this shroom out here, see if we can get it to come up. There it is. Alright, get her out there. Okay, so actually what I'll do is I'll just get my little sifter out here, sift it out. Alright. Okay, so here it is. Got the little stainless steel sifter. We're gonna put some of this out here. And since we will be resonating with that monoatomic mushroom, and this is the stuff it was growing in, so let's add this here, that full jar, 1 liter, to this enema we'll be doing. So that's got the good monoatomic resonance with this mushroom. And so now we will get the mushroom out here. Alright, there it is. It's kind of all apart now, and alright. That's some powerful M state consciousness right there. Build it right there. And you know, if you dilute it, you try to add it to a fruit smoothie or whatever, you know, it's still going to taste nasty, but you know, it's not going to give you nearly the M state consciousness, the monatomic state, as doing it straight up like this. Alright, so I have a little bit of that urine in there, from aged urine, as well as the mushroom here. Alright. Alright, well, the mushroom is still more, it's a little bit more dead now, right? Alright. Fresh one would be much nicer than this, alright? It will be better tasting. Alright, good thing is I got nothing in me to puke out, basically. Alright, so and there's the acids are already coming out there. Alright, so yeah, better than actually gonna consume this orally. You know, it's gone a little bit bad there. If it was a fresh mushroom, if you want to see me eat the one I ate, the other one, the first one I created, this one is all in pieces, and it's you know, it's kind of, it's basically rotten kind of thing, you know. So, you know, it ain't the same. Too bad I didn't do it earlier. But what I don't mind doing is I don't mind throwing it in the enema here. Like I said, there is no taste anyway, so this stuff is still not the highest quality stuff, but it's still going to be a lot more powerful. It's like, you know, it's the difference of eating, say, a ripe avocado that is still, you know, doesn't have brown stuff in it, and this is, you know, eating something with a little bit of the brown stuff, or even quite a bit of the brown stuff. You know, it's a little bit rotten, but it hasn't molded, right? And the urine itself is sterile. You know, it smells a little bit bad, so yeah, well, gotta let this one go. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to create another mushroom here, and maybe these will produce it, or I'm gonna have to keep making more, and then I'll eat a fresh one. You know, just like, you know, I don't really like eating avocados that have all the brown and black stuff, because that is basically not healthy for you, because it's mold, fungi, and yeast, right? It's mold, so that is not going to support the immune system, right? So there you go. Yeah, you know, you got to use your intuition on these things and use your logical mind to figure out. And so, anyways, it's worth a try. And the urine itself as well, it's gone a little bit bad as well. So, you know, because it was in that. So that's it. That's got to go as well. And we got to let this go as well. This is all going now. Right, so a done deal on that. So the moral of the story for that, if you want to experience the M state with eating the monoatomic mushroom, you don't want it to sink to the bottom or it'll drown. It does get no oxygen. As you can see right there, it just falls apart, disintegrates, it rots, and you know, it ruins your batch of monoatomics. And so if you do produce the mushroom and you want to eat it, then eat it right away, and don't touch it, and don't take it out and look at it. Just take it out and eat it, or, you know, just use the monoatomic liquid and don't eat it, or don't do an enema, or whatever you want. But, you know, some of you may just want to, you know, produce one of these mushrooms and put it online and show that you were able to create one. Whether you do enemas, drink it, or eat it, or anything, doesn't matter. Like, there's no right or wrong. So it's just fun being able to create one. And so that's it with that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this one up. That's enough enemas. I did 5 or 6, I don't know how many. Some of them were, a couple were 1/3, a couple were 2/3, and that's still a great volume. That is more than the normal enema. The plastic ones you get are only 48 ounces, which is only about 1/3 of this. So I was already doing full enemas, and those ones that were 2/3 were twice the size of a full enema bucket. And if you do the whole thing, that's about 3 enema buckets in one shot. So the best way to do that is by doing it without the aged urine. If you want to do the whole thing, you want to fast, either water fast or the master cleanse fast, or at least a juice fast or a smoothie fast, or a liquid diet. And then you will empty your digestive system, you will empty your intestines, and that way you will be able to take larger amounts. And remember all those little tips I said with the breathing, the mula bandha, with the perineum muscle, as well as the lubrication, as well as just taking a little bit the first few times to clear out the track, and then try to take more and more and build your way up. It's, you know, go press your limits a little bit, but don't go too far. Experience a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort. You know, try to get more and more in each time, and you will notice the benefits and the health benefits. You will feel healthier, you will look healthier, your skin will clear up because your intestines has to do a large with your skin,
and you'll probably get a lot of compliments from people. Maybe you lost a bit of weight, maybe, you know, whatever, but try it, ladies and gentlemen. You see, this is the deal, alright? If you want to get into the uropathic way of better health and consciousness, then these are the tools you will need, alright? And here's the little pH strips. We could test these right now. Like I said, you know, watch my other videos. I've already done all that stuff, and if you want to do it for yourself, go ahead. Otherwise, you know, you age it to 3-6 months, and the alkalinity is definitely going to be above 9. Alright? Okay, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This video going on Uropass.com, Monoatoms.com, as well as my Liver Flush Man channel, livers.co, and maybe yeah, cancerdiets.org as well. This is a major natural alternative cancer treatment, an alternative to chemotherapy. Now the difference is, you know, chemotherapy is killing your cells and killing your body. Even if you're a healthy person, you get chemotherapy, you're probably still going to lose your hair, you're probably still going to, you know, get weak, and you're killing your body. So this is different. This does not kill your body. This supports your immune system. This builds your immunity to cancer. This builds your immune system and makes you healthier, stronger individual spiritually, mentally, physically, on all levels. And the only side effects are really the immediate side effects that you experience while you do it, such as, you know, pain, discomfort, you know, these kinds of things. But that all goes away. As soon as you flush it out, as soon as it's all gone, you have no side effects, as far as I'm concerned, for me and many others that are doing this. All you do is you live a longer life, a higher quality of life, you feel better, you live, you're happier, you're healthier, and that's the difference, alright? The difference of pharmaceuticals, chemotherapy, and all these other drugs, and all these other things that aren't necessary in natural, because they're made through heat and processing, and all they're really doing is taking the herbs from nature anyways, and then synthetically replicating them so that they can make money, and the bottom line is they want to make money, and they don't, as far as I'm concerned, they don't really care about healing people and helping people. As far as I'm concerned, they are just capitalists that just want to make money and tax everything, and they just want to make money on everything. Alright? Now this work here, you know, I do this as a gift to humanity, my service to humanity. All I've ever wanted to do is heal this world and heal it up, and, you know, and get on with this place. You know, I want to reach these higher levels of consciousness, these higher dimensions. I want to embody this. This is my gift to myself and the world, and you know, either you share this experience with me or not. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to force you to do it, and if you feel you need to do it, then do it. Alright? I'm doing it. I'm telling you, it ain't easy to do, for one. Alright? There's a lot of social taboos, a lot of social things, stigma around all this, but you know, it doesn't matter, because the healing, the health, and the living is more important than any of that kind of bullshit. So, alright, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. You guys are the greatest. Bye. Alright, folks, I'm back here. I decided to keep going with this. I got the message to do it. Keep going. Let's get this bowl thing going this time. Alright. So here we go. We're going to mix it up a bit here. Get a little bit of dark stuff in the bottom, a little bit of the cream mixed up too. The Monoatomics concentrated. There we go. Right about there. Right. Here we go. Like, if you have a filter, that's great, you know, do it. It's awesome. And if you don't, who cares? Do with what you got, man. Do with what you got. Like I said, you all got to put it into proportion to what you're eating. And then, you know, don't point out that little
second that guy's eye when you got the plank in your eye. You know, you're eating all that fast food and all that cooked food. I mean, the list goes on. Candy bars, chips, fries, you know, candy, whatever, you know. So a little bit of chlorine. You've been drinking chlorine in your tap water, most of you anyways. Makes no difference, man. Dude. Put it in perspective. You're eating that food, a little bit of chlorine ain't going to do much compared to that stuff. It's plugging up your body. Alright. There we go. It was not too concentrated from there to there, so you know, a nice amount, not too much. You can also do them fully concentrated as well, but you know, it takes. This is 4 months old, so it's a work of love. So if you just do it all, then you have nothing left, man. So it's good to just take her easy, man. Take her in strides a little bit at a time, build your way up. Otherwise, if you're like me, you could just, you know, you realize you could just keep making this stuff. But you know, for me, if I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it, and I want the high quality stuff. So I'm gonna be, you know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make sure I'm on the 100% raw food diet. Not one piece of bread, not one grain of rice, nothing cooked, nothing. I did 4.5 years of 100% raw food diet. Same thing, I'm talking not one grain of rice, not one piece of bread, nothing cooked, no chocolate bars, no candy. 4.5 years, 100% raw food. And that's what I recommend if you're going to do the liver and gallbladder flush, then you better be on the raw food diet for 2 to 3 years minimum, 100%, or you're just going to screw up your body and your mind. You're going to screw it up, and you're going to plug it up, and you're going to be worse off than if you never did a liver and gallbladder flush, because you have no consciousness of your body and you have no consciousness of health. So you try to get this little quick fix thing where you're going to, you know, heal up your body by doing this miracle liver and gallbladder flush. Well, it ain't true, because then the next day you're eating fries again, you're eating pizza. So you're fucked up even worse than if you never did it at all. Right? You might as well, if you're not going to do the work and do the raw food diet, then don't even do the liver and gallbladder flush. That's my suggestion. If you're not going to commit a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, to doing the raw food diet 100%, then don't even bother, or you're just gonna be worse off. That's all I can say. All right, so. And you look, man, my disclaimer in every video of every liver and gallbladder flush, you do everything at your own risk. All of these protocols, I'm not responsible for you. What you choose to do, no way do I take responsibility for any of that stuff. And there's disclaimers on the beginning and end of every video for 25 seconds to 30 seconds. Blatantly obvious, it's right there, it's also in the description. And so that's it with that. Alright, so if you choose to do this, any of this stuff, it's at your own risk. Alright? There's no guarantees in life that you're gonna, and you try to do a quick fix thing with the liver and gallbladder flush, I'm telling you now, it ain't no quick fix. It's a long-term commitment to a healthy lifestyle. You took years and years to develop cirrhosis of the liver through all that crappy eating. You took years and years to develop all these diseases. And you ain't going to just fix them in one night or a week or 2 weeks. These things took years and years to develop. It's going to take years and years to reverse. Alright? I ain't going to lie to you and tell you all your problems are going to be gone because you do these enemas and you do liver and gallbladder flushes and you do that stuff. No, you have to do the real work. You have to do the real work, or you are just going to, you know, mess up yourself. Because you know, you got to build your way up honestly. An honest day's work is, you know, a day of 100% raw food diet. It's not, yeah, you know, I ate some raw food today, or, you know, 30%. I had a salad today. you know, I did the master cleanse for, you know, 3 hours. No, that's not going to do it, you know. There's a lot more to it than just, you know, what you think you might see from me doing and stuff. This has been years and years of my life cultivating this energy to take these enemas and do this stuff. So, you know, all the power to you if you think that, you know, you're getting somewhere with doing a couple liver and gallbladder flush without eating a raw food diet. But you'll soon realize and learn that, you know, it ain't going to work, and you're going to have to really do the real work, or you're just fooling yourself that you're going to get anywhere spiritually, that you're going to get anywhere. You know, you're not going to get skinny by doing a couple liver gallbladder flush. You're going to lose a little bit of weight for a couple of days or a week, and if you don't change your diet and your lifestyle, you'll get it even more than if you never did the liver and gallbladder flush, because you're not building the consciousness of the liver. So, you know, you try to get skinny by doing the liver and gallbladder flush, you're not going to. You're going to get fat, because the fact is that you didn't do the work, and you're going to go back to eating all that shitty food, and you're going to plug up your system even more, and that's it. That's the final say on that one. All right, as far as my perspective, and I know what I know, so. Now that's what I call the gag reflex. When you're doing these enemas and you start pushing it and you do more and more, you start to gag. Alright, there it is. We got it all in. Full thing. Prove it to you. There's the bubbles coming through. And stuff I'm puking out is very acidic hydrochloric acid from the stomach. And what's happened is if I do a headstand now and I puke, I'll actually puke out this aged urine, and that proves that it goes right through the digestive tract, all the way up through the large intestines, through the sequel valve, all the way through the small intestines, and all the way up, out the esophagus, through the stomach, out the esophagus, and out the mouth. That is getting all the way through the intestinal tract. Alright. So, yeah, that's it, folks. I did it. Look, boom. Got it all in there. 128 ounces. That's number 6 or 7 enemas in the last 24 hours here. So give it a little shake here.
I'm going to release this and we're done. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright, and actually let's not end it there. Let's do the full headstand here as well. So I released a little bit, probably, you know, this much, right? So there's a huge amount in there. And that feels good because, you know, when you do that all that much, you know, it's okay to release a little bit in order to feel a little bit more comfort because, you know, that's already a huge amount. That's over 100 ounces that are in me right now still. So
Alright. And, you know, this is great because all that preparation, you do 3, 5, 6 enemas in a row. Things get a lot easier and easier as you go, right? So, you know, things get easier for everybody. The more you do something, the more you practice it, right, it gets easier. So this state right here, having no problems holding this 100 ounces in there, nothing's wanting to release out, that's when you know your body is assimilating that. Now, what happens is, the thing about urine and fermented urine, fresh urine, you do the research. The thing is that urine therapy has been around for thousands of years, right? It dates back to Egypt. It dates back to Hinduism and Ayurvedic medicine. India practices it. 2 million Chinese practice it today. 2 million people, all right? In China alone. It dates back to the yogis. It dates back, there's just so many, cultures around the world that use this as a health treatment, treatment for disease as well as maintaining your health, preventative medicine. Urine is found to be non-toxic. Non-toxic. That means it is sterile as well. That's why it's used for cuts, wounds, bruises. Alright, it's used for healing the skin of all diseases. It's for creating healthy skin. It creates the healthy collagen. With the urea inside the urine is the #1 cosmetic in the world, which is, in almost every top-end cosmetic product in the world, alright, is the urea extracted from porta potties as well as horse urine. Now, urea is, can be toxic in huge quantities, but that is huge quantities. Just like same thing for McDonald's. Like, if you're having it once in a while, it's not going to affect you too much, alright? But if you have a huge amount all the time, it is going to be toxic. So this stuff can be toxic. Anything can be toxic with too much. Even water. Water has killed people. Water, if you drink too much water, even if it's pure, it's not good. So there's just this healthy balance of how much urine you should drink, how many enemas you should do. You got to use your intuition and overall your spirit and your higher self with your mind and your intuition to tap you into these spiritual worlds and dimensions that are going to support you in your spiritual growth. And you don't want to force anything. You want to listen to the Creator, listen to your inner voice, and let that guide you when to do it and when not to do it. Because a healing thing could be a destructive thing too if you don't use it for good and you don't use it for spiritual growth, right? And so the only two toxic ingredients found in urine that are toxic in the sense of an overdose, an over amount of it, is ammonia and urea. All right, ammonia and urea. These can be toxic to the body in large doses, high quantities, over extended period of time. Now, but that also has to do with the quality of your urine as well. So, if you are eating a raw food diet and and you're doing the work, you're doing fasting and enemas, you're meditating, you're doing yoga, you're doing all the spiritual lifestyle things that are going to bring you towards a healthier body, well then, you look at your urine and there's going to be less ammonia, there's going to be less urea, it's going to be clear and clean, alright? So, one thing is urine looping. Urine looping is drinking your urine continuously all day long, and day after day after day becomes a urine looping fast, alright? Where that's where you would only release the urine into the toilet or keep it stored in jars at night when you're going to bed, so you're not waking up and you're constantly going urinating. So throughout the day you'll drink it. Now what happens is that urine refines in your body. So it starts off in the morning very pungent, very potent, very foul smelling, tasting in general for most people, and that is most of the yellow vitamins and nutrients in there. Now then, if you start drinking it all day, alright, what happens is you drink that first morning, it's very pungent, very very strong tasting. Then the next time you urinate, it's quite a bit clearer, and there's less taste less pungent, it's clearer, and it starts to even taste good. You can almost say it tastes good, because the first morning one tastes horrible, alright, it tastes horrible. Then the second one has filtered through your liver, your kidneys, it's been through your entire bloodstream, and so it starts to filter. Now, because all the foods you eat, whatever it is, your body, your liver, and your intestines, and your kidneys, everything is going to filter that and bring out the most powerful nutrients in there in this most bioavailable form. Now, bioavailable means that it's more absorbable to the body. The biology of the body can absorb these nutrients because they have been filtered and processed through your liver and your kidneys. So the fact is, you know, one glass of urine is more nutrition than maybe a week of the average person and the food they eat. So, you know, and that's the truth, because that urine is so bioavailable. It's just so, you know, it's getting towards nanoparticle size. Nanoparticles are so small that the human mind cannot really quite comprehend it. It's like, you know, a millionth or a billionth of a millimeter kind of thing, right? So the urine is moving towards those small particles, which just go in your body, right through cancer cells, right through viruses. Viruses, you know, are around the nanoparticles of 20 nanometers to 60, 80, maybe 100 nanometers. So you know, most nutrients that we take in from foods and stuff, that is not going to reach the virus level. You know, most of that is just going through the going through the body, and it's not being assimilated. It's not being used very much. And let's face it, we know quite a bit about what happens when you cook food. I mean, it's just, you know, that it is what it is. We know that it kills the life force, it kills the antioxidants and the enzymes, which are the three high nutrients of the evolution of nutrients, from vitamins to minerals to antioxidants to enzymes and to life force. Now, vitamins and minerals are not totally killed, but they are denatured when cooked above 105 degrees. So you're losing, you know, the lowest levels of nutrients, and you're getting the leftover stuff. It's like, you know, that avocado that I talked about that gets brown. Well, that ain't the same. It doesn't have a life force. Those enzymes are dead. Those antioxidants are dead. And you're eating dead food. That's what cooked food is. It's dead food. It's not living food. Alright? It's got denatured vitamins and minerals. And the antioxidants, enzymes, and life force, there's none. There's none. It's gone. Alright? It's been killed and dead. And there's nothing left. There's no nutrients left in those antioxidants and enzymes, which are the higher forms of the nutrients that our bodies assimilate. So, so that's the thing with that. And you know, so with the urine there is that, you know, it has been filtered through your kidneys, liver, and bloodstream, and your digestive tract has assimilated it. And so when you drink that, you know, you're getting high quality nutrients reabsorbed. So the thing about urine looping I'm talking about is that what happens is, you know, if you drink it all day, you could test your urine, you know, drink some but leave a little bit, keep the jars. I'm going to do this to show people. And what happens is it gets clear and clear and clear and clear till at the end of the day you have something better tasting than water. You have something that tastes, if you're on the fruit diet in the summer and you have salads and fruit, this is going to taste better than water. It's going to taste like coconut water. Alright, coconut water, and that is just the most amazing tasting beverage that hydrates your body, electrolyzes it, you know, and provides many health benefits. It lowers your blood cholesterol. It lowers the LDL, alright, and the high density and low density it creates the good cholesterol for your body and gets rid of the bad cholesterol, which is associated to strokes and heart attacks and heart disease of all kinds. Arteries that have caked walls inside there, sticky blood that's formed and clogging the arteries. The coconut, the young coconut, the coconut and coconut oil, coconut water, that is very, very good for you on so many levels. Brain health, all the organs of the body, all the endocrine glands, and it very much hydrates your body and is going to give you a really, really healthy consciousness. So that is the truth of it, alright? So the morning urine is one of the best ones for you, the most medicinal, alright? It's got the most nutrients, the most vitamins, and it tastes the worst, alright? Then as soon as you start, drinking that all day, it gets clearer, less of a taste. It tastes more sweeter. It begins to clear up, and as you do it, by the end of the day, you have this pure, white, clear, almost sweet tasting. All right, depending on your diet, though. Like I'm saying, if you are on the raw food diet, and especially the fruit diet in the summer, then your urine is going to taste good, and you could probably, I wouldn't do it but you could pass that off as coconut water, and if you really were clear and pure, somebody would say, damn, this is good coconut water, where'd you get this stuff? And that's the truth, and that's the truth. But until you clean up your body, and it's not going to taste good, and until you start trying urine looping, which means you drink it all day, you will never think it'll taste good, and you will think that I'm a bullshit liar, right? Because until until you've done it, there's no point in believing me. There is no point, because I don't believe in blind faith. You got to do it. You got to embody it. You got to know it yourself. So if you're curious and you want to know, then do it. Urine looping. Try urine fasting. Even go for 3 days of just urine. But before you do it, go on the raw food diet for a week or two. 100%. Challenge yourself. It's going to be very challenging. You may, some of your friends may, think you've gone off the wall. Say, a lot of stuff like that happens. Your family, your friends, they don't understand if you're going to choose that path, but that's part of the way of that path. All right, so that's about it, folks, for here. I mean, I've been holding this 100-ounce enema in there, and that's the thing, you don't want to force it out either. And in general, you don't really want to force holding it too much either. You want a nice healthy, where you're not forcing it too much, but you're also, gently working to expand your ability to hold it and go beyond some pain and reach further levels of getting candida and parasites and flushing it out and reseeding that intestines with more beneficial, friendly bacteria. It's going to support your health and your overall immune system in the intestines. Alright, so that's about it for that, and I'm doing great, and when your body does assimilate it and you don't need to release it and you can go walk out and do your daily things, your body will basically tell you if you need to get near a toilet or something, and then you develop more and more, cultivate more power and strength with your mula bandha, the perineum muscle, and you develop more and more abilities to hold this, and you can go further out into the world holding this stuff, and and doing more healing work out there in the world. So build your way up to that, and when your body does assimilate it like this and take it in, I had to build up. As you saw, I did a number of enemas before I could take the whole thing. Another thing is it's harder on camera to take the whole thing. It's harder when you're talking to take the whole thing. If it's just me on my own, I have a better chance of getting that whole thing in there. And when your body does just assimilate and take it in and doesn't release it, that's when you're really doing well with it and your body's assimilating it. Now, You did notice too that I gagged 3 or 4 times. I call that the gag reflex, the gag response. That has to do with healing all the past garbage you've put in your body and all that stuff, and you're basically vomiting out like a shaman taking, you know, some kinds of shamanistic herbs such as ayahuasca or, you know, Peruvian torch or peyote. And what happens is you ingest that, and then most people, they will shit and vomit, and then that's when the visions come. That's when you get the sacred geometry and you're in those other dimensions and worlds, and you really get to experience them, right? Because when you release, you know, either by shitting or vomiting, that's when you're getting out those, say, like demons, or, you know, that density of that physical toxins and all that, and then that's when you receive that spiritual growth and awakening. And a lot of times it can last a long time. Sometimes it only lasts even an hour or two, or, you know, even a minute, and then you're feeling like, you know, maybe you want to do it again now because you want that experience again, and that keeps building. And the more you do it, the more awareness you have, and the easier it gets. All right. So the hardest part is starting. You know, the hardest part is starting. Once you start it, things get easier and easier. And next thing you know, it's like an old hat thing, and then, you know, next thing you know, you're putting videos on YouTube, you know, and doing this stuff, right? So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for this one. Last little things, good little belly rubs like this. You get right in there, and this is gonna really move the candida and stuff caked on those intestines. I know a lot of, you know, and part of me too, you know, a lot of times I did, you know, some of this work to get skinny, or, you know, to lose weight, and, you know, that's natural too, but there's a lot more to it than that, and that develops over time as well. But, you know, getting candida out of your intestines is it's gonna really help your digestive system, which is gonna help you to lose weight as well, and help you to feel less toxic. So by shaking it up in there like this, it's a really good way to speed up the process a bit, you know, and within reason, though, you know, just a little bit here, and give it a little shake like this, a little percussion like this, the belly pumps, and the breath of fire, like a yogic pose like this. You can sit in half lotus or full lotus, or just, you know, whatever you can do. Doesn't matter. And then you know, you can get your hands out like this, open your jaw and your face, open it up, and that's called the breath of fire. That gets the belly pump going, opens up your jaw and your face, and opens up these circuits here. And there, I got somebody at the door now, and that's it. I'm going to go see him, and that's it for this one, the tutorial. I'm happy with myself. I was able to finally do it, and I'm still holding the 100 ounces in me. And alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. You guys are the greatest.